Voters in Wisconsin risked their lives this week to vote in the state's primary, raising questions about expanding mail-in ballots. But President Trump says voting by mail leads to fraud.
Coronavirus still present in all 50 states, officials around the country are trying to determine how to hold this fall's elections while keeping voters safe. One of the key ways is voting by mail. But as William Brangham reports, President Trump and the Republican Party are casting unproven allegations about the process.
We've heard the president and many others make accusations that voting by mail is an invitation to widespread fraud. Is there any evidence that that's true?
No, there is no evidence that that is true. And I will say that we already have tens of millions of Americans voting by mail.
You see today's White House press briefing? If you didn't, you missed Democratic operatives posing as reporters, stunned by the idea that mail-in voting might not be totally 100% secure. It was amusing to watch. Of course, the risks of mail-in voting are obvious. The latest example of that came today. DOJ announced that the FBI and the Pennsylvania State Police are investigating fraud in mail-in ballots in Luzerne County. That's the place Donald Trump won by double digits 4 years ago. According to DOJ, several military ballots were, quote, discarded. Investigators have recovered a total of 9 ballots so far. Not surprisingly, the DOJ says an overwhelming majority of those ballots were cast for guess who? Donald Trump. Meanwhile, in Greenville, Wisconsin, authorities announced Tuesday that 3 trays of mail, including mail-in ballots, were discovered in a ditch, not counted in a ditch. We've seen other examples of this throughout the year, including deliberate mail-in ballot fraud in New Jersey and in West Virginia. Just hours ago in the state of Texas, the state attorney general announced that a county commissioner and several others have been arrested in an organized mail-in balloting scheme that took place during the 2018 Democratic primary. But to reporters in Washington, this is impossible to believe. For the people doing it, it is confirmation that actually it works pretty well. Last week, judges on Pennsylvania's Supreme Court ruled that mail-in ballots need to be counted well after Election Day. You won't be shocked to know that 5 members of the body that made that decision, 5 out of 7 people on the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania, are partisan Democrats. They're elected. They're politicians. Last week in the state of Michigan, a judge called Cynthia Diane Stevens issued a very similar ruling. In fact, she went farther. She mandated ballot harvesting. Ballot harvesting allows paid political operatives to collect ballots in bundles and bring them to polling places. What could go wrong? Well, fraud.